morning, bro, we hopped up on that bus. It's chill, hiding, Raji, glad you came to whip with us. Got no GPS or telling what we gon' discuss. Shout out Thompson Farms, they got the melons and the nuts. We like a trampoline, yeah, we jumping on this beat. Early morning shows got the Crocs up on my feet.
What's happening, ladies and
Don't
gentlemen?
worry about
Welcome
the
to
fire,
another
yeah, cause we will
episode
bring
of
the
Big
heat.
Ugly Sports
We
Show,
on that
brought to
yellow
you by
bus
Premier
and we
Properties
rolling
Dublin.
down your
We
street.
are your first source for
Early
media
morning
sports coverage.
pie, yeah, we got that
Exciting
coffee
show for you
sipping.
today as we discuss
5-star
topics
reviews,
from this
maybe
past week
even
and
a
topics coming
subscription.
forward. Hope
We
you
a
enjoy
work
the
in
show.
progress,
My name
always
is
room
Jill.
for improvement. Get up on
Let's
that
bring
bus.
everybody else into it.
It's a movement.
Everybody. Sitting, let me turn that down. Sitting to my right, he is from the UGA class of 07. He's a diehard dog. He's always oblivious to how people truly feel about him. Punctuality, better this morning, but continues to be an issue. Bottom row looks like he bit a brick. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the pride of Buddy Johnson Road, Adam Hightower.
Man, hey, welcome everybody. Welcome myself.
Sitting across from him, he's a Seminole for life. Gullet can store food for weeks at a time. Diaper needs changing on the reg. Napkins for hands, ladies and gentlemen. He is big. He is sloppy. He is big. Raji.
Hey,
We're going for
There we go.
definitely have to get that diaper changed this morning. Stomach is hurting.
fresh
Appreciate
diaper.
that, Alan.
Fresh diaper coming in.
Yes.
All right, guys. Good to be back in action this morning. Restful holiday yesterday. As we look and reflect over the weekend, I do actually have a weekend observation. I saw, and I don't know if y'all saw this, where you got something to say, hi.
Just get here when you can, bud.
Cambodia rolling. Hey, it's tough in the mornings. It's tough in the streets. Cambodia rolling in just right on time, though. But I saw where Rush Probst back in action.
Where?
It's in Alabama. It's not Catoosa, but it's something Christian. I remember that, which made it all the even better. He's
Taking the Hugh Freeze approach, huh?
he is. It's a high school, and he's AD. Most time, AD handles bread, and that seems to have been.
Good change, man. Give him a break.
Yeah, I hope you're right. I really hope you're right. But he's back in action. He's an associate head football coach, not the head football coach.
So he's not the head coach, but he's the AD. That
Yes.
will not go well.
Give him a chance, right? You know what you said?
Yeah, give him a
I
chance.
mean,
Hey, it's our job to speculate, and that's
That's
what
right.
I'm doing.
and you can base that off history
Yeah.
over and over and over.
Mhm.
So I saw that yesterday in an article, and I thought,
What?
who's name dropping on here? He's not gonna listen to it, so that's fine. Raj, I saw you.
Trash.
You said yesterday you had a hot take for us, so let's
Yeah,
hear it.
go ahead.
No,
You have anything?
I've been looking forward to hear what you got to say because I might be similar to what I got. Go ahead.
Okay.
You
So
do have some.
Yeah, but I'm just been eager to hear his first.
So did a lot of thinking over the weekend.
You are a thinker. That's one thing I've known
That's
about
right. That's right. Sometimes about some next level stuff. I don't think this is necessarily next level.
You
But
have
we're
been
gonna
known over it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yes.
So we're going to play a little game here.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh wow!
Kind of a
Yeah.
would you rather?
All right.
But you're gonna have one quarterback.
Uh-huh.
Like I'm giving you one quarterback, and then I'm getting you to compare to another. So you got to pick. Okay.
Okay.
Starting out, right? I'm gonna give you like 6 or 7 quarterbacks.
67.
A
6
lot
or
of
7.
options.
6 or 7. Yeah, 6 or 7. Okay. Joe Flacco or Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan.
Okay.
Matty Ice.
Joe Flacco, Dan Marino.
Dan Marino.
Okay. Joe Flacco, Randall Cunningham.
Oh, Randall Cunningham.
Okay.
I'm playing into it.
You need to take Flacco at some
I got
point.
to,
but
but-
I can tell by the way he's looking.
But
Lookie's
but,
Jackson.
but here's
Go
these
ahead,
are
Paul.
people that are like sentimental favorites. So
Okay.
Go ahead.
like I've got no attachment.
Flacco, Warren Moon.
I think Flacco's won more games. On Moon. I go Flacco there.
All right.
Oh, that
Flacco,
messed him up.
Flacco, no, didn't. Flacco, Phillip Rivers.
Oh, I'm a big Phillip Rivers fan. I like
Where are you
Phillip
at
Rivers.
on?
No, don't pull me in now.
No, this is
okay.
both of you.
I'd go Phillip on that one.
All right. So, point that I'm making here.
Here it is. Circle
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
Circle
Point
in.
that I'm making here is
He trapped me.
that everything, which we'll get to. I'm sure we'll get to the stat stuff. How it was,
Mhm.
but what does Flacco have that all those other quarterbacks don't have that we just
Super
mentioned?
Bowl ring.
So would you say that Flacco won Flacco winning that Super Bowl puts him above those guys, even though he's not as talented?
Made him clear his throat on that. This
As far as the debate who won the big game, I mean, he's got a Super Bowl ring, and that's what the ultimate prize is. But like I said, some of those guys are. I mean, Matt Ryan is obvious. He's a Falcon. I mean, I'm a Falcon fan,
reason I ask is because we've had the conversation about Stet being the GOAT at Georgia, and I don't know.
But in all those guys, I could argue that their stats are probably better than Flacco, other than the ring. Where at Georgia,
but I'm saying
passing leader there.
But I'm saying if we were,
and he's a champion.
If we were to sit back and you would say, would you rather have Matt Stafford or would you have Stet?
In the NFL or college?
Who would you rather have if you're building if you're building that program? Who would you rather have?
It'd be hard for me not to pick Stet right now.
The college game is different than
the program. So that's my point though. It's like you guys, and I can say you guys, but the Georgia fan base in general is so blinded by what Stet is, and they're caught up in the moment, right? And the reason I'm getting on this is because Stet had a rough time at the parade. There's a bunch of pictures, a bunch of stuff on surface, whatever, about him being a jerk. I think he just had a rough moment. I'm not going to sit there and judge him on that. But the thing I have is, and this is, I'm going to read some of the stuff off that I saw.
He's coming with scenarios.
Well, because
this keeps him up. Stet keeps him up at night.
It does.
Because now this is because normally he goes because it's like, well, it's just that's fans are idiots. Fans are idiots, which I agree with. They are. Now this guy
all
right
fans.
here,
I mean, not just Georgia's fan base.
No, all fans. All fans are idiots. This guy right here writes for Dawg Daily, I guess, and writes for Sports Illustrated. He says, I don't blame Stet for seeming salty or whatever the hell people are throwing at him. A year ago, the majority of Georgia fans wanted him gone. He returned anyways, delivering another national title. Drew Butler, who was a punter at Georgia, right?
Yeah.
Kicker, whatever. Stetson wouldn't win a national championship. South Carolina, yeah. Tom Brady wouldn't either. Then I see people complaining about Stetson acted during the parade. He said best 2 rings. So, that's not – that is people defending the behavior that he portrayed, right? So, my issue is that Georgia fans and a lot of people, not even just Georgia fans, when Baker Mayfield did that kind of stuff, he was a walk-on, grabbing his crotch, planting the flag at Oklahoma or at Ohio State. Everybody hated Baker Mayfield. He was a jerk. But when Stet does it, it's fine. He's justified.
You had a feel for all Georgia's fans, how they felt about Baker. Because that's what you're comparing, how they felt. You don't know how
I'm
they
saying,
felt.
yeah. Well, I think the general consensus was people didn't like Baker.
I would agree that most, but kind of the popular thought was Baker's kind of a jerk,
arrogant.
Yeah,
right. And
so
essentially the same thing.
This goes into what my thing was, I guess my weekend take or whatever. I watched his and listened to his comments and whatever. I was disappointed that he would direct. I can understand him feeling jaded.
Right.
However, the people that were at that parade have invested thousands, if not millions of dollars into UGA football.
Right.
He would be nothing. Georgia football would be nothing. There would be no rings. There would be no facilities. There would be no all the nice cushy stuff they have. No scholarships for anybody, if not for the people investing their own hard-earned money into the program. So to me, that's not the right time or place to be saying those things that he said. Now, if he had said a couple things differently, if he had said nobody believed in us, or the media didn't believe in us, but he said you didn't believe in us.
But I thought he was, and I thought he, the more I look at it, I thought he could have handled himself better. He could have seemed more grateful, for all the stuff. But I still, when I watched it, and I watched it again, I felt like he was talking directly to Shockley, talking about you media guys. When he said you, because Shock's the one that asked him, and he was talking back to Shockley, he says you. That's the way I took it. I didn't take it as him saying the crowd. I think he got caught up, and it was not like you said. It wasn't the right time or place. But when he was saying you didn't believe it, I think he was talking to Shock and the media in general.
Yeah, but,
Yeah, but
I don't
when
think
did-
that matches up with what the Georgia players have said. How nobody believed in us. How we were 7-6. How we were going to go 8-5. Like,
Yeah,
to
but
me,
I just
that
feel like
doesn't
in that
match up,
moment
like-
he was directing that at the people that have doubted him, the media people that have said that we couldn't.
But
do
at
so and
what
so.
point does it stop being about?
Oh, I told you. Yeah, I didn't think that was the time or place.
And so, if somebody were to ask him, or if I'm QB1 at Georgia, and you just come off 2 natties, and somebody says, "What's your most favorite, most proud moment? What's the thing you did that you loved the most?" And you said, "I proved everybody wrong." That's, to me, shallow. Anyway, that's my take.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was just kind of like, what the heck, man? Like,
I do
'cause
think
I
people are
think-
dissecting it a little much.
However, I will say this: that's not going to tarnish his reputation or what he did at Georgia. I think that even though he's 25, he's still, fairly young,
yeah.
and I think that
Well, I mean,
we're going to move on from
this
this,
is-
and everything will be fine.
again,
and
this is from Ed, so not the most
Yeah.
reliable source.
45-year-old. Go ahead.
And negative. Go ahead.
Well, but I think that he was saying, how like a lot of the fan base is like split on the way that Stet handled that, and in hindsight's 2020. Again, he's not perfect. Like, we're all gonna make mistakes and stuff like that. But I just think like it's, I'm always gonna hammer Georgia all the time any chance I get, and especially you got to find something because they're the best college football team in the world
you
right
feel
now.
a little bit inferior.
Feels good
No.
to hear you say that.
Yeah, the
Hey,
team is not
people-
Stats. Georgia's the best team.
Hey, he
Stats
did
not the
his
best
thing.
quarterback.
And Ed in particular thought one Stet could never, even with all the weapons, whatever you want to argue the defense had, he out of his mouth said Georgia couldn't win with Stet as quarterback, and we did it twice. So screw you, Ed. So here let's stay in the realm of
Does it help though that they only allowed 9 sacks the entire year? Clean
But
pocket
that-
for him.
yeah, that's great.
Stet only allowed 9 sacks.
Yeah, Stet did. Stet only
his
allowed 9
legs did
sacks.
help. His legs did help him on
That's
several
fair.
occasions.
Yes.
Namely in the championship when he had to spin out. I mean, we could go on all
He's a
day.
gamer.
But
He's
I
a
wanna
gamer.
ask
That's
you-
all you can say about him.
one, I want to make you'll really appreciate this, Rogers. I was reading yesterday, and this is we 24/7 who reports, who we take what they say as pretty good in the game of college football.
Mhm.
They had the way too early Heisman odds for next year. Okay, and no surprise, Caleb Williams the favorite at plus 400, so
Mhm.
plus 400 to win. Drake May in second,
I saw this list.
tied for third, Bo Nix and Jordan Travis. And here's where it gets really good. Tied for fourth at plus 1,600 odds to win it. Quinn Ewers, Brock Vandegrift.
Vandegrift?
And that's
I don't
ahead.
think-
That's ahead of that was who? That was ahead of like Milton at Tennessee. There were a few names that was.
I don't think Vandy starts.
That's what the article was like. Well, maybe these guys know something more about what we do.
I think popular opinion now is it's Beck's job.
Well,
Yeah, I
just
think you're
based on
right.
watching him coming in and getting the reps in the national
He's
championship.
the number 2. I mean, why would he not be the number 1?
But why would 24/7? They just throwing.
Maybe
it just
stirring
seemed
a
random
pot.
to me. I don't know.
Just stirring a pot.
Could it be like they're also boosting their own rankings because I think Vandy was a 5-star, Beck wasn't. I don't know.
Self-interest there.
I was just reading, and I was like, "Dang, maybe that's a typo." And I was like, no, and he
Well,
ain't far behind. His odds aren't far behind Jordan Travis to win it.
Well, I think I talked to a guy this summer about that is at Georgia, works at Georgia, and he said that Vandegrift's like probably the most talented, but he mentally is.
I've heard he couldn't remember the playbook, stuff
Yeah.
like that. So
Which is why Stet was the guy, because he could.
Well, his mind's completely formed because he's 25 years old.
I'll take it any way we can get
did
it.
y'all see that meme where it said it had a picture of Brock Purdy when he was playing? He said he looks like, because he's 13 too. He said it looks like a young Stetson Bennett out there.
Yeah.
So, real quick, guys, everybody stop what you're doing. If you're watching, if you're on YouTube, go click the thumbs up and subscribe button. If you're listening on the podcast, do us a favor, pause it, open up your YouTube app, hit subscribe, give us a thumbs up. That's where we're going to push a lot of our content out, and you don't want to miss anything we put out there, especially as we ramp it up with us here in the next month or so, getting some new equipment that's going to help us better handle that. So whatever you're doing, pause it right now. It's not live. We're not going anywhere. I promise you'll get to hear us. Like and subscribe on YouTube. So Raj, I'm going to start with you, and then I want to hear you weigh in too. Hi. Staying in college football, more impressive run. Okay. FSU, 14 years, wasn't 14 from 99 to 13. Was that right?
Mm-hmm.
14 years, finishing in the top 5 with 2 titles during that span, or Bama over the last 14 years?
Bama.
How many daddies?
6. I wasn't going to throw that in because that would pretty much seal it. But
Well, I just think that, I think that just the landscape of football has changed. I mean, what Bowden did was great, and, it was unmatched up until this year. But, I think, at the time in the late 80s, 90s, I mean, you had probably 6 or 7 programs that
you and I have talked about this before.
You were competing against. Now it's like, I mean, and the way that just college football has just changed, what Saban's done, man, it's crazy. Like
outside of Bama, is FSU the second best dynasty run? I guess you would say over the last. I don't know.
I mean, I guess maybe like based on wins losses, but I think they played for, I think it was maybe 6 national titles, something like that. Maybe if it was 5 or 6, they played for, I know 3 of them in a row and won like 1 for 3 or whatever. But I don't know. I think the Miami in the '80s is tough.
It's boy.
We'll let Jared Verse and break the like he did this year. But no, I mean, I think Miami.
Everybody broke the U this year.
It's great. I love it. I absolutely love it. Especially, I don't know if y'all are following the Kamani McLean recruitment. So he was like their number 1 rank. He's like number 2 or 3 ranked player in the nation. Committed to Miami back maybe December. Didn't sign. So that's kind of a red flag already. If you're like that you're that stud, you didn't sign. Well, Cristobal went to his high school on Friday to go see him. They told him he ain't here. He's in Colorado.
No way.
Yes. Wow. Dude, they are clowning him, dude. I love it. That's what they get for
doing that. It's one of those things you got to check for you for that.
Look, between that and the Rashada thing at Florida, that's what they get for trolling us about Travis Hunter. Florida and Miami.
That wound still hadn't closed, has it? Colorado's just Deion's taking it for everybody.
Take something personal about your football team.
It has no tie whatsoever to one another, but he circled it in.
Had to.
So and I know we've talked about this just in text and casual conversation, but all right, we'll start with you here. Is Georgia currently a dynasty?
Yes. And I read an article the other day, and Roger and I heavily debated this about the most dominant 2-year run in college football history, modern college football history. So yeah, I would say yes, we are a dynasty, and excuse me, dynasties can be, you said Alabama and FSU were both 14 years. Is that right? So
Alabama's 15.
Okay, so this is, just the early stages of the Georgia dynasty, but it is, in my opinion, a dynasty.
I think it's definitely on that trajectory, but I'm not going to go as far and say that they're a dynasty yet. But I do think like if they make the playoff next year, I definitely think that they're. I just think it's still kind of a small sample size. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't. We talked about Clemson, what they did from 15 to maybe 2 years ago, whatever it was. I mean, if you want to look at a dynasty as like a small sample size or whatever, like, yeah, I would say Georgia is, but I don't look at a dynasty as something that's gone on for 4 or 5 years.
Well, since Kirby has been at Georgia, they've played in the New Year's Six Bowl every year except once.
Okay, well, but hold on. I also think, though, that when Jimbo's 3rd year, FSU played in the New Year's Six Bowl for 6 years in a row. I don't think that's a dynasty.
Okay, but they've also played
that
3 national championship games
out
of those 6 years. And 2 of them ended up being national championships.
I just think it's a small sample size. I just think it like what the definition, whatever your definition of dynasty is. Like mine is not.
But you think one more? It's a small sample size, but one more year.
I definitely think they're on the trajectory for sure.
But,
I think they're breaking through the ceiling on it. I mean, I think they'll probably be in the Final Four again next year, but they should be at least. Especially that cupcake schedule y'all got.
It is a terrible schedule. I've been on record before that Georgia's schedule is bad, and as a former season ticket guy, I'm not going to invest my money.
I mean, I think Ole Miss coming is like cool game. But I mean, playing Ball State and
You got
UAB. Shout out UAB though.
Yeah, but you have three. Yeah, you got 3 games that are just
Go Blazers.
But circling back here, yeah, like I said, 5 out of 6 years they've been in a New Year's Six. First year he was there, they were not. Every year since then, they've been in a New Year's Six game. They've played for, was it 3 or 4 at SEC championships?
Well, see, the only one that from the East was what Florida, like 2020 during COVID year. I think that was it.
Won this year, lost to LSU.
Yeah.
Lost to Bama. So 3 years, and
Played for what, 4 years?
Played for the national championship game 3 times with two titles. I mean,
I definitely think we're in the midst of it. I'm not so sure I would yet call it a dynasty either. I just think we're in it, and I feel real confident it's going to be. I think when we look back,
What y'all think about?
but we might not have. I mean,
leaving?
I'm under the impression I've learned that I feel like if Kirby wants them there, they don't leave. Like,
who's this now?
James Singletary.
5-star.
Oh yeah, I got you.
I think that
I thought he was the best corner coming out in their group. They had some.
He had not been on the field a whole lot, so
he's undersized. But I think
that just shows you the
Yeah.
the competition and depth that Georgia has out there. And Kirby continues to sign guys 2024, 2025. I mean, just loading up on defense. So
yeah, we're either going to bring guys in that are taking people's places, or we're going to bring transfers in. What I meant was we're going to bring in recruits that are going to play, or we're going to bring in portal guys. And I think the guys that are leaving are people that are not going to get on the field, and they know they're not going to get on the field. So it's probably one of those things. There's no hard feelings, but we want you to go where you can play. If you don't,
I did read last night that Monken is like one of the top lists for OCs
in the NFL,
Yep.
I
don't know why he would leave.
think they're going. I feel like whatever they offer him, Georgia's going to try their best to match.
do you think he says, I can make as much money in the NFL and I won't have to recruit, which he already sources say he's not.
He's not a recruiter anyways.
He doesn't recruit a single person.
No. But he is the best play caller in the game. Like, I think at all levels.
Okay.
Well, then he might not. I mean, what's the incentive to go to the NFL
If
unless
he
you're
doesn't
trying
have
to
to
get
recruit.
coaching? Yeah.
Well, and it's like, okay, I can be here and play for a national championship every year, every other year.
As
or
a
I can
coaching
go-
staff, how do you make up for that deficiency when you're offensive coordinator? Is that why you're sending Mike Bobo to talk to people?
Well, Georgia's brand selling itself. But they also, Georgia's offensive recruiting has not been great.
That's true. Well, we've landed 5-star quarterback, 5-star, or I think Vandergrift was a 5-star.
Yeah, but he lived in Athens.
We landed Stetson.
Yeah.
All
83 composite.
Anyway, what else we got?
All right, so let's take a quick second to thank our sponsors, our title sponsor, Premier Properties of Dublin. They handle commercial and residential real estate as well as property management. I did that last week. And you can give them a call at 478-274-1606. Talk to Kristen and George. Tell them the Big Ugly Sports Team sent you. Great people, great, easy to work with, and we're thankful for them being our title sponsor.
Absolutely.
Also, shout out to Brian Subs, located right here in Dublin. Man, if you're hungry today or whenever you're listening to this and you want a sub, don't go to any of those chains. If you're in Dublin, you already know. But if you're coming through,
Shop local.
Go to Brian's. Let Brad and them take care of you. Some of the best subs around.
Great customer service.
Great customer service. You can feel right at home, and
That
the food
root
is
beer
top-notch.
fountain drink.
That's the only place I'll drink root beer. Really, is off the fountain drink.
Other than Paramount?
I got Coke there.
Okay, that's
I
right.
got Coke.
I had the root beer float.
Thank you, Brian, for your sponsorship. All right, let's as we move into the next segment, we're going to stay right here in college football. Let's throw out our way too early top 4 for next year. Who do you think, based off of what you know right now, and there's obviously so much going to change with transfers because there's another window after spring football and things like that, but who's your way too early top 4, Hyde?
Georgia.
No particular order, or are you going?
I'll go no particular order here. Georgia.
But Georgia first.
Yeah. And I'm gonna take a little bit different route here. I think I talked to some people over the weekend. Superintendent Clifford Garnto was telling me his top 4. You know, he's always he wants to be on the show so bad. He wants to be on the show. Appreciate you listening, Mr. Garnto. But
Sorry, we don't have another mic.
Anyhow, I'm gonna go LSU. And I'll have. I'm buying FSU as a top 4 team next year, and I don't know if it's because you have worn me down with all your daily ramblings about FSU, but I do believe. I mean, they are attacking the portal. They have a good group of guys coming back, and I've always liked your coach since he was at Memphis. So I mean, I have them in the top 4, and then I'm gonna go. If Jim Harbaugh comes back at Michigan, I'll have Michigan in there again.
Good list. I'll go in order.
Is it good because FSU's in there?
For
No,
sure.
If
I
I
think,
don't have FSU,
I
you're
think
like,
I
no,
think
this is
having
trash.
I do think having LSU and FSU is interesting because you're saying like I mean if FSU wins, let's say FSU beats LSU now. LSU can't lose another game. It's got to win the SEC. So that means that they got to beat Georgia.
Here's the way I see it: LSU
beating FSU.
LSU wins game early in the year, first game of the year.
It's not gonna happen.
Well, they could. This is mine. So LSU wins, goes to the SEC championship game, loses to Georgia. That's how they're both in. FSU loses first game of the year, runs the table the rest of the way. That's why they're in. This is my scenario. You can speak on yours.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
He tried to tell you what you could and couldn't.
Yeah.
All I did was I just thought it was interesting.
It is interesting. That's why I said it.
I'm going to go number 1 seed. I'm going Bama. 2, I'm going USC. I think USC is going to end up, and I don't think USC is great, but I think the Pac-12 is just terrible.
They are bad. Lincoln Riley's not a good coach.
I wouldn't say that.
No, he is a good coach. He's not a championship coach.
Yeah, but I think that the Pac-12 is just bad. They're returning everybody. I think they're going to be really good.
But don't you think that hurts them and their ability to get in?
Well, if they go undefeated, I mean, they're about to get in this year.
Is it? That's just because things happen to work out. But if you got,
Well, it could happen.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
This is mine. So
yours,
just
yours.
sit with it.
It just makes me ponder a lot of different scenarios whenever you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So we got
3,
Bama.
Yeah.
Bama,
We got Bama, USC, FSU,
FSU,
Georgia.
So you got Georgia just losing the SEC championship to Bama.
Who's Bama's starting quarterback?
They said it's the is it Ty Simpson? I don't know.
What about
They were
Milroe?
saying the Milroe may transfer as
I
well.
don't think Milroe's.
Or
Well, he was the backup this year.
I know, but I think that Simpson was getting redshirted. Well, I think the Simpson dude's gonna be pretty good.
Milroe can run.
Yes.
Milroe.
Milroe can
Milroe
roll.
can roll.
Did I say Milroe? I meant Milroe.
He can roll. He can
That's
roll.
what messed me up. It was
They
Yeah.
You almost, if you're a Bama fan and he's not the best, you almost think put him in the slot. I mean, he's 220 something and runs.
Yeah.
He's like the third fastest guy on their team. Get the man the ball, and you saw what he could do.
Well, and you can just put packages in for him too. I mean,
But if you're him and you go through spring and you're not it,
yeah.
Depends on what I mean, if he's dead set on being in QB, yeah, he's gonna have to go somewhere else. But if he just wants to be a player, maybe he plays there.
all right.
And now yours?
Yeah, I got Georgia. I think Georgia runs the table, wins the SEC championship. So I would in no particular order. I do think Bama loses the SEC championship. So I guess that would probably be a 1-4 possibly. And then I've got USC. I think USC is in there, and I'm struggling with the third one. Michigan, I guess. I just hate to see Michigan in there. I don't want them to get in. I'm tired of. I just don't.
See, I enjoy them getting in there and just getting destroyed. That's fun.
I mean, it's hard to watch.
Because I just don't.
They are going to be good. They return a lot.
That's
they got
what I'm
running
thinking.
back coming back. The quarterback's
quarterback.
They're going to be pretty solid.
But I could see Clemson. I think Clemson could get in. I think Klubnik's going to be. That's who I was trying to think. Vandegrift has better odds to win it than Klubnik, who's shown that he can play. You know, Clemson's defense.
I will say they just made like massive hires. Clemson did. They got the OC from TCU, and then
Riley, and that Lincoln's little bro.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
He better do something different than he did in the national championship.
And then they just hired Jeff Scott, who used to be at Clemson, was at South Florida. They hired him back as an analyst. So they have made some really big hires this week.
So I could see a Clemson. I mean, or really the ACC champ. I could see them
can I give you my reasoning for LSU?
Sure.
So, in year one, goodness, I forgot the guy's name.
The coach, quarterback, where are we
The
at?
coach, what?
Kelly.
Kelly, yeah. Brian Kelly. So he beats Alabama year one. Well, if I hadn't have been wanting to say it, I could have easily said it. But as soon as I needed
Dude,
to
we'll
bring
forget.
it,
now.
Let me talk. In
Hey.
year one,
What's his,
what's
his name again?
Hey, what was I about to tell y'all again? So in year one, they beat Alabama. All right, year two, he's bringing the quarterback back.
Which one's he playing?
Jaden Daniels.
Nussmeier looks pretty good now.
Who?
Was it Nussmeier or his name is? That dude can.
I think he stays with Daniels. Either way, he'll have year
They threw
two.
for like 500 yards on Georgia's great defense.
Either way, they'll have.
He's pretty good.
And it's fine. He'll have either guy coming back.
Either or.
They'll be year two in the system. I think they take a step forward. So I think that
Alabama get that work.
Alabama,
I'm telling you.
Okay, Alabama's got a lot to replace.
So your prediction of them could easily change after week one. If they go down week one, they're out because you don't have a win in Georgia.
It's not necessarily a prediction then, because my prediction is you have to predict before it happens.
That's fair.
But what if
Ostradamus?
What if LSU runs the table? Alabama only loses to LSU. Georgia then loses to LSU.
I'm spinning already.
Like you got 3 1-loss SEC teams.
Well, I think it just depends what happens everywhere else. Because I mean, if somebody's got 1 loss, somebody's undefeated, they're probably gonna put the undefeated team out.
Yeah, but there's other bad conferences like the ACC, Big Ten, Pac-12. They're not going.
Yeah.
It just means more.
You okay with them?
Yeah.
What's next?
All right. Let's before we speak on something else, you sent and I saw an article too where the Minute Grill, featuring on SEC Network, a little hole in the wall joint here in Dublin.
Mm-hmm. Just True South.
Wow.
Yes.
True,
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yes.
True South television
I wish I knew
show
which one it was.
on the SEC Net. You gonna try it? True South is on the SEC Network, and they last year they came to Dublin and made an appearance and television spot on their show for.
You all right?
You're having a hard time, dude.
Yeah,
dude.
That
Tripping seizures over here.
That messing up on True South got me. I mean, I'm all discombobulated.
You really started with Brian Kelly. I can't remember what his name was.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Anyhow, Minute Grill.
Cup of Joe.
Minute Grill gonna be on Sunday night, and they're having a watch party. So if you're in town or around, you
At the Minute Grill?
Yeah, Sunday.
Can't too many people there.
Well, they got counter space and they got some tables.
Do we go live show there?
Free burgers?
They are.
Cambodia says yeah.
You either get 1 free hamburger or 1 free hot dog. They're giving out free food. I mean, I'm hoping that they're open, because if you're to go in there, you're gonna.
What day of the week is this?
Sunday. So they're not normally open on Sunday, but they're opening special for the show.
We might need to push.
I mean, I love Minute Grill.
Let's have our people reach out to theirs. See if we can secure a spot.
That'd be great.
So
they're gonna be like,
when us call.
Ooh. So all right, good. So yeah, Minute Grill, big time things happen right here in Dublin. Best, and you may have to think about this, best sports movie of all time. You want me to go first?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many good ones.
He's gonna forget which one it is too.
Let me tell you about the best. What we doing?
Water boy.
Mine is, and I didn't know when we talked about this if you meant like it had to be. Mine's Sandlot.
Okay.
That's a movie that I can watch. I can watch it over. You can watch it with kids, kinda. I mean, there's a couple of things in there that you're not really, but I mean, you got Wendy Peppercorn out there and
Whitney.
I say Wendy.
Okay, sound like Whitney.
Don't do that. So
that's our sister.
It's a great movie. I mean, all time fave. So that's mine.
That's a great choice.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to go or you want me?
You got it, bud.
We may have to revisit this when they put the Stetson movie out. But I mean,
he has been known to have a bad favorite movie too, hasn't he?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
It's a wonderful life.
Phenomenal Christmas film.
16 upset one.
Yep.
It's a
Literally
generation. It's a generational
through
thing.
the
And
whole
we know
bracket.
that.
You weren't even in that generation, maybe in the 40s.
Man, but I know my past, man. I love
Man,
I
Andy
mean,
Griffith.
when we grew up on Buddy Johnson,
And
we didn't
There
have
were
like color
tough times.
TV, and that's
tough times.
that's just
We
what
just
we
watch
had.
Ain't B and Mayberry, man. That's all we can watch.
Yeah,
I
we
had
still
to-
all
I had
we
to turn the antenna with my hand.
yeah, I still watch Eddie Griffith.
It-
Yeah, man.
It's Eddie.
Well,
Eddie.
Well, it's not really his fault. Eddie Floyd lives on Mayberry, so
Easily confused.
yes,
Yeah.
easily confused.
All right, what you got?
I'm gonna go Rudy.
That's a good one.
I mean, it's just timeless classic. I've watched it hundreds of times.
Now I get your stats and comment. I agree. Revisit. Yeah.
Because really, Rudy Rudiger, Stetson Bennett is everything Rudy Rudiger wanted to be.
What a comment. Wow.
You know,
I agree.
Go ahead.
I'm going Friday Night Lights.
You watched the show? I know you're
Yeah.
watching it currently.
Yeah, it's good.
I don't really get in like binge watching shows, but the movie.
I just don't watch
You
TV.
talking about old Chad Winchell?
Yeah.
Hey,
I think
I love y'all.
Yeah, come on, boys.
That last huddle when everybody,
Yeah.
I love all y'all.
I love
man.
it.
Why
It's
is
a
it that?
great
I mean,
movie.
why is it that people that try to put on a Southern accent just sound so?
Well, the best part to me was Tim McGraw's drunk dad in there. Like, he did a great job in there. I mean, he was great movie.
I agree. Good movie. So it's 3 good movies. I feel like 3 pretty good movies.
Do we go bracket there?
We could do a
We
bracket.
could do a bracket.
We could do a bracket.
We'll discuss the seating.
If you all want to be involved in the seating instead of just letting me do it and then y'all complain about it,
I wasn't here. Again,
that's
day
your
y'all
fault
did
for
it.
not being there.
I tried to tell you that Bad Santa shouldn't have been a 13 seed, and you were adamant. And then multiple people have also said Friday After Next should have been a Christmas movie.
I had most people that hated Height based on that bracket when they found
You-
out he seeded it.
And Coach Jones said Friday After Next.
Multiple
And
people.
That is multiple.
Yeah,
Let's see.
but no,
Not outside of him.
Yeah, he can't be included in his multiple.
So I think maybe the best way we do it is we just random draw for seeding.
Or just don't seed at all. Just which would
Well,
be
that's
just
essentially the
random.
same thing.
Yeah.
Random draw.
And yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Same page.
Same page.
All right, so yeah, we might be something we could throw out there. We had some pretty good social media interaction last time. Give us, hey, if you're listening on YouTube or wherever you're listening, give us some comments on social media about maybe what movies you think should be in that bracket if it's something we decide to do. All right, we'll close with this segment right here. Let's talk NFL playoffs.
We're going to talk Lamar first.
Well, I've got that on here too.
That's exciting.
So we can start with that because I'm not too big in the NFL playoffs this year. I really didn't give the NFL hardly anything. Even with the Falcons, I did at the beginning of the year. I just couldn't get into it. I don't really know what it was.
You just locked in on Georgia, bud.
Yeah, maybe so. Now my standards have been raised because of Georgia, what I expect, and the Falcons didn't live up to it. But so you had a report yesterday that possible for Lamar Jackson to end up in the ATL. Your thoughts?
I think it's awesome.
You think there's actually a possibility?
I think he ends up going to Miami, but if he was to go to Atlanta, I think that's huge.
All right, so I don't know. It's Tua.
I think I just think they're not sold on Tua. I think with the injuries and they battled yesterday with was it Skylar Thompson or whoever it was.
That hit the stat line was.
Yeah, it was
bad.
rough. But they battled. And had a chance to win the game. So,
I ultimately think that may be up to Tua whether he decides. I think if he decides, hey, I'm gonna play, I think they're gonna ride with him. But I think if he's
if you have a chance, Lamar Jackson's from Miami. He went to Miami Northwestern. I think he wants to come back to Miami. So if they got that option, I think they take him. But if he went to Atlanta, I think that would be awesome.
all right. So do you, based on you saying that, and I understand Lamar Jackson is like a once in a lifetime possible talent, or not lifetime, but once in a short while talent. Is Ritter not the future? Do you think?
I think if you get Jackson, you just let Ritter sit. He did some good things this year, but do you think that Ritter's a guy that's going to necessarily next year take his team in the playoffs?
I'm asking.
I don't think
do you
so.
think Ritter do you see Atlanta, whether it's trading for, signing, drafting a quarterback, because we realize Ritter is not the guy in the next few years?
I think they got other needs that got to be addressed. I don't think you go quarterback. The defense has been bad. I think they fired Dan Pease. So they're interviewing new
Dean.
Dean, whatever his name is.
So where they were bringing Brian Flores.
Yeah, which I think would be awesome if they were to get him. But they got too many holes on defense they got to hit.
I don't like Lamar Jackson as the guy that takes your franchise to the next level. He's just too injury
I'd rather
prone.
draft Stead.
No, I don't. No, not at all.
He's a stud though. When he's on that field, I mean,
Well, he is, but when he's not, I mean, and he's often
what's
not
his? And I had
because of his play style.
Has he missed? What's his average? Cambodia, can you check on that? I see you dialing it up, man. See how many games he's missed. But when he's out there, man, he's.
I mean, I think that, or my initial thought was when you said that, I thought, oh man, it could be the second Michael Vick here, and that was such a fun time to be a Falcons fan.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't want to invest a lot of money. It's not my money, but I wouldn't want the team to invest a lot of money. And I read that he is seeking guaranteed money. And so,
which I get, we get it from his standpoint. But
yeah,
I think,
I understand. But
look what Arthur Smith did with Tannehill, who was like, I guess, an NFL dual threat guy. Look what he put up great numbers, had record year for him, 2 years ago. So I think Lamar would be really good, and I think that Tyler Allgeier's been great. Cordell Patterson, you get Pitts back, you got London. I mean, he's got weapons. In the offensive line, I think Lindstrom was one of the top ranked offensive linemen this year in the league. So I mean, they got pieces, man.
And it's kind of one of those things too. If Ritter's liable to be butthurt if that were to happen, because I'm sure right now he thinks this is. But I'm saying if he could buy in for 2 to 3 years of playing behind Lamar,
I couldn't imagine Lamar signing for a 2 to 3 year contract. Probably want 5 or 7, wouldn't he?
I don't know. Maybe some more reports will come out or something. I mean, I think 5 years is probably where his shelf life's at.
Yeah.
But if we can get him, I mean, think about it. Tampa Bay looks like a mess. Brady's probably not coming back.
that offense would be salty if Lamar Jackson got in there.
Yes. I mean, the Panthers.
With your blockbuster faster dollars prediction of Algier turning into the stud that he's turned into.
Yeah.
Hey, you swing and miss sometimes, bud, but when you hit.
I was just like playing the lottery, bud. All you got to do is hit one time.
Yeah. So, and real quick, and
shout out to Gabe and then the Duval.
Man, Duval.
First how y'all.
Saw Gabe at church yesterday. Saw Grady first. His son comes down there to the kids area. He's got, Jaguar shirt on. And then I see Gabe after church with every bit of a 1975 Jaguars hoodie on. It
That'd
looks
be tough
so.
to do since they were not even around.
Yeah, but it was made back then. They knew it was happening.
A starter jacket.
No, it starter would have looked good. It was like a faded glory, is what I took from it. Jaguar. He was proud.
Did y'all see the Trevor Lawrence going to Waffle House after the game?
Yeah,
that was awesome. I love it.
So
4 touchdowns, 4 picks.
Four picks in the first half.
You know who had 3 of them picks? Boy, Asante Samuel.
Yeah, we saw
FSU.
Jay sent us your tweet where we're DBU. We're built different.
I didn't say built different.
Yes, you did. 100%.
You 100% said built
you
different.
did say built different.
Look at it. Look at him.
I know I said.
Call him out, Jay, baby. Call him out. Yeah, go
that
look at
man,
it.
That man Jay wants to be relevant so bad. He stays on.
It's funny. People will randomly text me and Chuck and say, get y'all's guy off of Twitter. Get him off of Twitter. What's he saying?
Just glad it's not under the big O source.
Okay.
Oh, you did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember.
We got a receipt. Boy.
So you had Chargers Eagles in your faster dollars prediction. Chargers gave up that lead.
Thanks a lot, Brandon Staley.
Give me your up to date. You still think Eagles?
And I tell you, I think the Giants kind of scared me against the Eagles.
Look good.
6 seed.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Who would have thought though? A couple of years ago, what the NFC East, they used to call it NFC Least, and now we got 3 teams in the.
And people were wanting to move on from the quarterback Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
And then now he's Danny Dimes again.
Yeah.
Who comes out the AFC?
I don't know. How about that the Chiefs Bills game though? I mean Atlanta.
If they get there.
Yeah.
No, it's Chiefs.
Is it?
Chiefs Bills.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
They both got to win this week.
I think you probably see them 2 play. It'd be awesome to go to that game. Just have no.
So who comes out of that?
It's hard to go against Mahomes, man.
So you're going Chiefs.
I'm probably going
Let's
Chiefs.
hear Chiefs Giants.
I'm probably going. I worry about Purdy. I think 49ers have the best roster, but I don't know if Purdy's going to be able to.
Talking about that young Stetson there.
Well, don't even Don't do that.
I don't like the Cowboys, so I hope they lose.
How about they were? Did you see the guy miss all them extra points last night? And Dak was coming on the sideline. He was like, "Just go for it, effing two." I'm like, and then I saw somebody tweet back to him or somebody's like, "Well, that kicker wasn't doing that when you were throwing picks all year." Something like that. I'm like,
because they go with QB2.
yeah, they did pretty well in the one games. I don't know. I think we see. I'm going to go Eagles, Chiefs.
Eagles, Chiefs. Okay. Hey, time will tell. Time will tell.
What you think, bud?
I'll go Giants, Bills.
Okay.
Just off the rip. I do want to say we need to start getting geared up for some NASCAR. Daytona 500 is not too far away.
In February.
Yeah.
We need to go to Dago.
We're trying to get working on the media credentials.
Just make sure that you continue to listen to us on the Spotify app, Apple Podcast app. Give us that 5-star review. Maybe even a subscription.
Be sure to hit us up on social media. Big Ugly Sports.
Yep. Make sure on YouTube, all the platforms you're following us, give us a shout out. Give us some fan interaction. No matter what you're doing, though, wherever you're at, whatever you're doing.
You're a bus.
Got the Crocs up on my feet. Don't worry about the fire, yeah, cause we will bring the heat. We on that yellow bus and we rolling down your street. Early morning pie, yeah, we got that coffee sipping. 5-star reviews, maybe even a subscription. We